Halo semuanya, kembali lagi bersama Seniman Muda Berkarya. Hari ini aku berada di sebuah exhibition yang mengangkat kisah-kisah dan juga patung-patung dan karya-karya dari seniman asal Australia. Dan hari ini aku senang banget karena karya ini pertama kalinya digelar di Jakarta, Indonesia. Dan sebentar lagi aku akan ngobrol-ngobrol bersama Patricia Piccinini, senimannya langsung di Museum MACAN. Dan karya-karyanya bisa dinikmati dari tanggal 25 Mei sampai 6 Oktober 2024. Pameran Patricia Piccinini yang bertajuk Care ini diadakan di Museum of Modern and Contemporary Art in Nusantara atau yang akrab dikenal sebagai Museum MACAN. Museum MACAN merupakan museum pertama di Indonesia yang memiliki koleksi seni modern dan kontemporer serta menjadi rumah bagi berbagai pameran dan instalasi seniman dalam dan luar negeri. Pada pameran kali ini, Museum MACAN menampilkan karya oleh Patricia Piccinini, seorang seniman asal Australia yang telah lebih dari 30 tahun berkarya. Piccinini sendiri dikenal sebagai salah satu seniman yang kerap mengangkat cerita mengenai hubungan antar spesies serta dampak dari kemajuan ilmu pengetahuan yang direfleksikan melalui modifikasi genetik. Dalam exhibition kali ini, Patricia Piccinini juga membahas mengenai hubungan sebagai perasaan universal yang ditampilkan melalui lebih dari 40 karya patung berukuran life size, 3 instalasi video, serta salah satu karyanya dari tahun 2021 yang memuat instalasi ribuan bunga bernama Celestial Feel.
Hi Patricia, how are you? Oh Chelsea, I'm really happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for us. And thank you for your time. Thank you for being able to be with us today because it's going to be a remarkable talk with you. And so many people are amazed and they admire your art pieces and they love to know more about it. Maybe I have one question. So you like to talk about genetic modification. It's really interesting.
I do, yeah.
Tell me more about it.
Well, I often refer to innovations in medical technology in my work, not because I really wanted to critique them or say they're good or bad, because I see them as part of our everyday lives. Not just our future, it's our present day.
Yeah.
Like in America right now, there is a man that's living with kidneys that were grown in another creature, a pig that was genetically modified to have his DNA. So when he received these kidneys, he didn't reject them.
Yeah.
So this is mind-blowing, and this is happening in our lifetime. So I think art at its best is a great reflection of what's going on in society. And it's a great area for us to sort of discuss these ideas, how we feel about them. And that's what I try and do, be part of that cultural conversation. And that's why I reference them.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great because I read from all of the wordings in each of your art pieces, and the artworks also convey a message. May I know what do you want to convey through the Patricia Piccinini Care exhibition?
Well, care is an umbrella theme because it runs through every part of the exhibition. But there are lots of ideas in the shot. Predominantly, what I'm interested in is how we understand nature. And this is not academic. We really need to discuss as a society, because if we don't, we're going to keep on going forward with this idea of nature, which has led us to the situation where we find ourselves in a climate crisis.
Sure.
So these are big parts of the show. Like we look at endangered species, we look at how evolution might be understood, but is held up by a musculature of the idea of care. Like what holds it all together are these ideas around care, and we see it in every work, like the one behind us and beyond, in different ways. Yeah. So, and care is one of the ways that we can redefine how we understand nature.
I was looking at one of the art pieces. It's called The Couple, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Why did you like that one, Chelsea?
I love that one because they're being in one bed. It's like sharing all of their, life, problems, going through the same journey.
Yeah.
And I just feel, touched. And I just love the eyes, the way you create it speaks something, towards us, the people who sees them. It's like they're speaking to us.
And I hope that does happen. And part of the way that I can get people to connect with them and feel like they're speaking to us is that they look realistic. That's a really big part of the work, that I could make them very roughly out of paper mache and it would still be the same idea. Like, I'd be still conveying the idea, but the way the idea is put forward would not be as convincing or as perceivable even. And so that's why I make them realistic. And with The Couple, which is one of my favorites too, what I think is special about that is that even though they're monsters, like all of these chimeras, they're not natural. They're like hybrid. They're hybrid creatures made up of humans and other species, like The Couple's made up of bears.
Yeah.
So we might be justified in feeling anxious around bears, like we should be. But in fact, we see this couple in a way that they have such closeness, such intimacy, and defines a strength between people, intimacy.
Yeah, intimacy is one way that we can show the love and then the connection, bond between them.
Yes.
And
that's admirable, right?
Yeah.
And it's so hard. It's becoming increasingly hard.
True.
Yeah.
Like the society that we live in, sometimes they do not highlight those anymore.
You're right, Chelsea. And why is that? Tell me. It's like fundamental to our
essential for us.
Yeah, exactly.
As human beings, but
why?
Exactly.
Why don't we value it?
That's a great question. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I try and do. It's like, I'm questioning why don't we do it? And indeed, it is a big enough thing to make our whole artwork about connection, intimacy. It's worth making an artwork that takes months and months to make, because it's important.
When I see your art pieces, I see that you use a lot of silicone fiberglass.
Yeah.
So actually, which piece took the longest and was the most difficult one? And considering that your favorite medium to work with is probably these like fiberglass, silicone, and human hair, real human hair.
Yeah. Well, with silicone, even a small work can take a long time because you have to make a mold. When they get bigger, it gets more expensive because more mass, I suppose.
More materials.
It gets exponentially. It's like not double. It's like exponentially. It goes up like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the hardest one would have been Kindred, because she's a very complex work with 3 individuals and many parts to her mold. So that would have been maybe a 25-piece mold. That's a lot. So that's a lot of pieces and a lot of seams.
Yeah.
That to be fixed up, and a lot of hairs. That would have taken the longest. But in some ways, it's not really the making process. That would have taken about 18 months to make, the first one. Yeah. The real time is in coming up with the idea.
And probably connecting the dots as well. Like this story, the narratives, and the message, and also the highlights to it.
Yeah.
And
because Chelsea, I feel like I'm at the beginning of my career, and I've been making work for 30 years. Like, I feel like I'm at the beginning. I feel like I'm near the end of my life, because I'm, nearly 60, but I'm at the beginning of my career. Like, I don't feel like I'm on process. Yeah. I never feel like, I'm a master, I got it. I'm never like that. It's like, I still feel like it's emerging I still feel like that.
Yeah, I can feel the vibes, the eagerness to always grow, to keep on pursuing what you love.
And indeed, that is one of the great things about being an artist.
Yeah.
I think there's many moments during the show where we are, not in a gallery, where we're like really
immersed in the world. Yeah, like you are in a different universe, kind of. Like you're just living, adjacent, living side by side with these creatures. Yeah.
Especially in the room that you're talking about with the couple. Like that is, I think, a highly successful moment of this exhibition because it's Indonesian. It's an Indonesian traditional house.
I love it. Yeah, the Indonesian house.
Yeah.
And then we can see a glimpse of Indonesian culture.
Yeah.
And there's like a painting about the dancer. And then the food, the kerupuk, and then
everything.
Amazing, yeah.
And that is successful because it was a collaboration between me and Peter, who is my partner, who installed this whole show, and the museum. So Peter and I said, we want to make, and together with them, we said, let's make an Indonesian house in this space. And everyone in the museum brought something from their own home or their grandparents' home in. So they brought things in. And the character of this room is made all the better because everyone here contributed. And what happens in that room is that if you walks in and they feel familiarity, they feel comfort.
Yeah.
They feel kind of nostalgia for the past. And so it's a great context to see something different in.
Probably just one last question.
Sure.
Do you have a message for the younger generation, and how do they be able to explore the world of art, and what does art mean to them?
I actually have two teenagers, one's 19, one's 17, and so I'm really interested in young people. And I talk to my children a lot about things like this. And one of the things I say to them is, take your time. Like, you don't just walk out of art school and have a show like this.
Yeah.
It takes years of processing, connecting with other artists, trying stuff out, try things. Don't feel like you have to make your masterwork when you're 20. Like you don't. I mean, and as a young person, I always felt the urge to be successful. Like, oh, I must have exhibitions, I must do this. But actually, looking back, that was a really negative emotion to have because I didn't need to have that. And it wasn't going to happen. And indeed, it stops you enjoying the process. It stops you feeling good about what you're doing right now and seeing the good that you've achieved. You see it more in terms of, oh, but I'm not selling or showing in this place or whatever. And so with my kids and even the young people I know, it's like read a lot, listen a lot, talk to people, connect with each other, build your communities, build your art galleries. They don't have to be grand. They can be small. Whatever you do, do it together. Build your programs, build your stories, do it together because together you will grow old together. Like your peers are your greatest strengths.
I would love to say congratulations for your exhibition. And I see that it's in Jakarta till the 6th of October, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I would ask a lot of my friends to come and see the exhibition for sure.
Great. That's really lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us, and thank you for all of the hard work that you have poured into these art pieces. It's amazing.
Thanks, Kelsey. It's a team. It's a whole lot of people who make this work, but I'm going to say thank you for that on behalf of everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's been really good, Chelsea.
Thanks, Ashna. Thank you. So this one is called The Sapling.
Yes, it was inspired by a true life event. So in my city, they're building this 18-lane highway, and there was a tree, a beautiful tree that was going to be knocked down. And the indigenous population of my city, the Wurrung people, they said, we want to keep this tree because this tree is special to us and it's older than colonization. Before it was here before white people were here. So we want to keep it. And what we see here is a relationship, nurturing relationship. So we expect nature to care for us, but here we see a father caring for his child.
Wow.
But this child is not a natural child. It's an artificial child, but it's made of natural stuff. It's a plant-human chimera.
Wow.
Yes,
Human.
that's right. That's one.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of emerging leaves. And here the tubular roots coming down.
Yeah.
And what we can see is that they have a kind of connection and intimacy. Their two faces are close together. You don't do that unless you're connected. But more than that, we can see that this is paternal. Like the father holds his child in a way that only fathers can do. Like I had kids, but I couldn't put them on my shoulders. I put them on my hip, but not on my shoulders. And to me, this is a really optimistic idea, but one that we can consider. Like, can we give plants the rights to live?
Kecintaan dan ekspresi Patricia terhadap seni membuat aku semakin sadar bahwa seni itu tidak terbatas. Tiap karya seni memiliki value yang berbeda bagi seniman ataupun audiensnya. Sebagai penutup, aku ingin men-highlight kutipan dari Patricia Piccinini untuk mengingatkan kita agar lebih peduli akan lingkungan di sekitar kita.
One that we can consider, like, can we give plants the rights to live?
Salam seniman muda berkarya.